Hey y'all, it's Lena and it's time to cook. And on this episode of Cooking with Lena, we're about to make vegetable soup. And yes, I said vegetable soup. I know y'all see that ground beef in the bag, but I said what I said. Make sure your pot is big enough so it can fit all your ingredients in the one pot. You ain't got one, go buy you one. So we're going to start off by pouring all our vegetables into one pot. And you could also do frozen vegetables, but I just did canned vegetables because it's quicker. And your girl just worked 12 hours, so yeah. And I looked at this like, ooh, this ain't enough. So I added one more can of diced tomatoes. I always tell y'all I do not measure, but I actually do measure my water that goes into my vegetable soup. I do 8 cups, so I have to fill up the measuring cup twice because it only holds 4 cups of water. So there is cup number 1 that contains 4 cups, and then I'm refilling the second cup now for the second cup, and it's gonna give you 8 cups altogether. 4 plus 4 is 8. Y'all know math. Y'all know math. Also, here's a side note story. I'll never forget that I filled up a measuring cup full of hot boiling water to throw on my ex because he ain't do nothing but cheat. And I was getting tired of it. But your girl is also out here trying to change her type of man, so she don't do that no more. So we're going to season our vegetables just like we season everything else. Salt, black pepper, onion powder, garlic powder, and seasoning salt. Since this is soup, I do have to use some beef cubes, and it is so crazy. There's only 3 left. I usually put a lot more in here, but I'm not going to no store, especially not after working 12 hours. Also, back to my side note story, like, I don't even know what the hot water would have done to him. It could have literally burnt his eyeballs out, and he still would have been cheating. It didn't even matter at that point. But that's another story for a different day. So let's get back to cooking this soup, y'all. So we're going to pretty much just dice the ground beef up and season like I tell you. We do everything else: salt, black pepper, garlic powder, onion powder, and seasoning salt. Like, you can't go wrong with that. And I was at work and somebody said something. It didn't have anything to do with this, but I took it back to cooking. You can always go forward. You can never go backwards. So I rather under season than over season at first. And I also had minced garlic in the cabinet. And I was like, hey, why not? Because I don't put real onions in my soup at all. And I'm going to put it in my ground beef too because your girl do not like cutting onions. Like, the only way I'll put an onion in something if an onion is already cut up in the grocery store or it's already one cut up in my fridge. So now you're just going to mix those seasonings in and then continue to chop up your ground beef. And please don't forget to stir your soup. If you're anything like me and you're forgetful, set you a timer or something because I'll burn something up. I don't think you can really burn soup for real, but I don't put nothing past me. And you should just continue to keep chopping up your ground beef to make it, into smaller portions, into smaller pieces. I'm pretty sure y'all know what ground beef looks like when it's done, but if not, it should look a little something like this. Why am I sitting over here using a spatula instead of a fork? I don't know, y'all. I don't know. Then you're going to grab your 3 cans of tomato paste, but more than likely you'll need 4 cans. After that, I kind of try to drain the grease off of the ground beef. You don't have to if you want to. But, hey, either way it goes, I'm going to make a mess and I'm going to drop something like so. I've been clumsy my whole life, so me just forever dropping things and making a mess is so normal of me. Like, I literally stumble and fall while standing still. And as you can see from right here, it doesn't have any tomato paste in it, and it's pretty much clear soup. It looks like something they'll give you in jail, so let's fix that. And then you're just going to grab those 3 cans of tomato paste and put the tomato paste into the soup. And I just knew that I was going to need 4 cans. So I'm glad I did grab an extra one. And without those 4 cans of tomato paste, if you like bland soup, that's fine. But I like mine to have more of a hearty flavor, which is why I had to add in that extra can of tomato paste. And you see the color change completely with the soup. Before even tasting it, like, I'm pretty sure I know by color whether it's going to be good or not. And honestly, this is really like another quick meal. This meal shouldn't even take you an hour either. It should probably take about 30 to 45 minutes, if that. Your girl do be eating a lot, so yes, I do need 2 big scoops. It's getting cold outside, so it's time to be in the house. So make sure you got you a thick girl and a warm bowl of soup. Bye, y'all.